Hey guys, so this is gonna be my first video, and just gonna be going over some performance tips for UE5 foliage. So if you're like me and your goal is or you're just in your project you want, let's say, a big forest or something, and if you're using the photo scan trees, I forget what the pack is called. Like just the Megascan trees, then from Quixel, then you will notice if you put a lot of them, you will have pretty bad performance. It won't be usable in if you're making a game or something like that. So I'm going to show you how to fix that, and you can do with it what you like. But yeah. So the first thing I'm going to do is just make a landscape. I'll show you the normal performance from it, and then I'll show you how to improve it. So we have our landscape here. Obviously this is just the standard project, new project, so there's nothing special about this. It's just the third person template. And then all I did was download the Norway Maple Quixel pack. You could do the same with the European ones. They're all work the same basically. Just I think the Norway is the newest one, and it might not even be true now though. So yeah, so to create foliage, you may not know this, but you just this pack, just grab the pivot painter, grab all of them, and just, oh, that's laggy. Drag them like that. Okay, now let this load. Once that's done loading, it took me quite a, like, probably a couple minutes. Shouldn't take you as long as you have placed one of these trees. It just had to render it or load some stuff. But once that's done, then you'll see here you have all of them. Now if you go to place these, you can just select all of them. The default brush is really small, and the density is massive for how big trees are. So if I place this, it's gonna just place a bunch. You'll see it'll be super laggy. But I'll just show it. Yeah. So obviously, no matter what you're doing, that isn't gonna work. Even if you optimize it, yeah, that's just, we don't like that. So to erase things, just go here. Excellent. Okay, so paint. So let's say this is a small landscape as well. You probably want a bigger one, but brush size can be however big you want. But yeah, just make the density like small as you can to start, and even that is like pretty big. So Control Z to undo. Yeah, even that is just massive. So uh, yeah, just give me a second here. I will. Okay, that's like probably a fair amount of trees. Another tip I recommend is don't use the big ones. These ones have massive amount of triangles and polys either way, no matter how you optimize them. So, and I find that these ones look a lot better in projects anyway, the like thin ones, at least for the most part. So yeah, use like these ones as much as possible in your project, and use these ones maybe if it's like a special tree with like a swing or something. But yeah, so that's a fair amount of trees. Now if I go here, I have a decent computer. I'm running a 3090. Um, so my computer might be able to handle this, but it'll still be at like probably 40 frames or something like that. show FPS. Oh, that's excellent. And by default, the landscape is going to be above the starter whenever you create it, but that's going to be most likely irrelevant for your project. Yeah, these trees are pretty expensive even. I can just feel it in the lobby. Control S to save. Okay, so 30 FPS, but this is the editor. Let's launch it as a standalone. Okay, done preparing shaders. As you can see, FPS is pretty much the same. So this is a smaller amount of trees than I'm talking about. I'm talking about like a full forest is what I was aiming for, and I got it working my project. Now you'll see 35 FPS. I think the default render resolution is about 1440p. So this is just the third person template, 1440p, and 30 FPS. That's not going to work as your project gets bigger. Yeah, so I will show you how to optimize this, and you'll be able to put way more trees. But yeah, you can see these ones, I think it has like over maybe 800,000, a million tries per poly. But so the first thing you do is you want to enable Nanite for your trees. So these, we're going to be doing something else. This is just going to be an example step. But to enable Nanite in a tree, all you do is you have to start with the mesh. So this is just a foliage actor. Don't think you can build Nanite from directly here. So yeah, so pivot painter. Now I think there's a faster way to do it all at once. Honestly, I don't remember the shortcuts and all that. So I'm just going to do it each one at a time. But you should just go here, and then you will see oh, where is it? Build settings. Oh, okay. Enable Nanite support. Okay, so I guess that is already enabled. I thought, I didn't think it was. So all these trees already have Nanite enabled. So you'll get even less performance without Nanite. So if I go to, your project might not come like that, but I will show you how to enable Nanite anyway for trees. But you can view Nanite by going show, no, lit, Nanite visualization. Always do triangles, honestly. No clue what the other ones do, but you'll see what you need to with triangles. So yeah, as you can see, you can build Nanite for your terrain and all the other objects as well. But as you can see, all these are already Nanite. All those are triangles on. So yeah, 30 FPS, 40 FPS with Nanite. That's not going to work for your project. So the first thing you're going to want to do to improve performance, and this will do it quite a lot. I know everyone likes the wind. Obviously, I do as well. It looks very good. But if you want a big forest, it's not going to work for performance. So you have to get rid of wind. That's the first thing. So to do that, go to, just click on one of the trees, and then you're going to want to go to the leaf two-sided material, and then scroll down, go to its parent material, and just keep doing this until you get to MA_foliage. You can also just search it in the content browser. And then you will see advanced wind goes to here, world position offset. click Alt left click on this to disconnect it, and then apply. Control S or click apply, and this will improve performance quite a bit. You'll see. If you want a big forest, you have to do that. You might, if you have a smaller one, I'll show you another significant way to improve performance. But that's if you want a big forest, that's what you're gonna have to do. So now there's no wind. I just exit all of this. We can test the performance now. This is RL built. Show FPS. Click the console and then just .fps. So you can see we were running about 30 to 40 last time, and now we're at a consistent 40. If you look up, obviously you're rendering less, but quite a bit. I'd say probably maybe 30% performance increase just from that. So now it does look worse because there's no movement, but if you have, it's better for first person games, I guess. If you have like camera movement and head bobbing and camera shake and all that, then like you really don't notice that. So for that much performance, if you want a big forest, I think it's worth it, but you can decide and see how it works for your project. But yeah, so that's one thing to do, 30% roughly performance. Next thing is going to be a big improvement. So what we're going to do is odds are in your project you don't need a tree like this with 1 million polys, or like this one I think has like 800,000 or even 200,000 or whatever it has. It's too much. If you want a massive forest, even with Nanite, it's just not the best idea. It's just too expensive. So what you do is, let's say this tree, so you can see 1.2 mil vertices. That's a lot. So go here, and then what we're gonna do is this Nanite only works with this tree actually has the actual geometry. It has 6 LODs or 5. So, but Nanite only uses LOD 0 if you're just using these trees. So what we want to do is I've tested it out. LOD 4 is pretty good, pretty optimized. It's very less triangles. It's not that much more noticeable from the user's perspective. And when you have a big forest, you get a lot more performance. So to get the LODs out of the tree pack that you have, and then just go here, export it as a FBX. Wow. Asset actions, export, and then you're going to want to export it as an FBX. Now I've already done this for my pack, so I've exported all the LOD 4s of this whole pack. If someone watches this and comments it and they want the specific pack, I can leave a link in the description. But let's say you're using the European pack or something, then go to just export it as an FBX file. So we'll say, you can call this whatever you like. Yeah, that's not a good naming scheme, but again, just call it whatever you like. And then put it in your downloads. Now for here, level of detail, yes, because you want to export all the LODs. Yeah, I'll just leave it as default, and then you're gonna want to go into Blender. Delete this, and then just import it as an FBX. this one. Sorry, I forgot what it was called. Yeah, and that's gonna take a minute to go in because that's gonna have like probably 1.5 mil vertices. So I'm showing you how to do this with one. You have to do it with every single one in your pack, but it's not too long. So you can see here, it looks like a mess because there's multiple LEDs here. So scroll this down. So LED 0, LED 1, LED 3, LED 4. So 4 is the one I choose. You can look in your project and you can choose like different ones per tree. You can decide what's best, but what I did was LED 4 for every single one and it seemed to work. So this is LED 4. And it contains another example of LED 0 for some reason there. So now we are going to want to, don't need this, and now we're just going to export this. So file, export, FPX, we'll call this Norway maple underscore tree, LED 4, go to downloads, selected objects only. Always, I recommend always clicking this button in Blender because just good habit, at least that's from my experience. Export FPX. Boom. And now if we go to downloads, build Nanite, you can do that manually, I recommend. I don't really like doing it at import. Do not create any new materials. And import all. Okay, so this has 22,000 vertices compared to, what was this, 1.5 million? 1.2 million, so that's a lot better. That's all I can say. Enable Nanite support, go here, apply changes. This is the exact same thing you do if your trees don't have Nanite. You just go here, boom, click apply, and then it's done. Okay, so obviously that looks pretty bad because there's no textures. But so what you do is once you've imported all the trees yourself, you can delete all of these because they take up a little bit of space. I think it's probably like 2 gigabytes or something. But yeah, just a mess. So once you actually import all them, then just delete them. But so all you do now, but don't delete the materials that come with the tree pack, the Quixel Megascan tree pack, because they work with the season blueprint device where you can change the leaf color and all that. So go to materials, pivot painter, field 1, and now you just have to manually drag all these in. So I think this one might be that one. Nope. So it's leaf, and you'll get this because you have to do this manually for every single tree as well. So the second one is the bark texture. Now you should probably do this on the actual object, not that instance, to be honest. So let's do this here. Leaf, bark, and then the third one is the detail. Now some trees have 3, some trees don't have a detail. You'll figure it out. Yeah. So it looks like this. So no, that's wrong. What did I mess up here? Okay, I guess the detail. Yeah, so that is right. So now it looks like this. So you can see, we'll take a look at it personal as a tree, and then and this one has 20,000 and had 1.2. Some of the other ones look just as good, like the big tall ones, and it's like 8,000 or something, so it's really optimized for those types of trees. And we already have decent FPS because we have the wind. Now, doing it this way, it's not like you can get the LOD4 and then use it with wind. It doesn't really work, so you have to do both of these steps. Now, I honestly forget, but yeah, so it would be this tree. So you can see, there's collision, which is messed up, but it looks pretty good. Not as good as the 1.2 mil tree, but when you have a big forest, you don't really have the luxury of choosing that. So this is just the 1.2 mil. Looks pretty good. This one looks a little bit worse, but it only has 14K and it's a lot more performant. And then I don't even like these big trees, but so these ones. So now I'll show you. I have already done this whole pack for my project, but I can show you how it's done, or what the performance is when you have all of them. So yeah, I'm just going to delete all these now. You saw the performance. I'm going to delete all these. And now I'm going to, I've already done this whole pack. Yeah, so if you'd like, I can include this. Let's actually put this in another folder. Name your things properly, all your folders. Be really keen on organization, as once your project gets bigger, just good habit. So that shouldn't take too long to import. Okay, so you just have to make sure the only other part of this is you have to choose all these. So materials. Yeah, so that part is a little bit of a pain, but it's not too bad. So this one exported. I'm not gonna do all of these because you get the process, but I'll do a couple for an example. Okay, so that one, we'll do these two. It's named pretty good, so try to follow the naming scheme. It'll make it easier for when you're this process. So this would be a forest. I think this is forest 2. What is this? Ugh. Forest 1. So yeah. So name your things properly, according to how they've decided the naming scheme, as it will make this process easier. So that the trunk is there. This would be a tileable. Is a detail maybe? Yeah, there's some like errors with LOD4, you'll see you can fix those up manually in Blender as well. But I think this one only has, and you could do LOD3 as well. Just for my project, I have a really big forest, so LOD4 was better. But if it's not too big, you could do LOD3 as well. And especially, depending on what tree you're using is very important. So if you're using the small trees that already have like only 200,000 at LOD0, then yeah, you can choose different LODs for that. But you probably could have done build Nanite at start, because now you'll have to do this for every single tree as well. But also, don't use the standard auto convex collision. It's going to come with that, depending on how you import it. But there's no need to have whatever this is. So to do collision for a tree, just remove collision. Odds are you don't need collision up here. If you do, then I'm sure you know what you're doing, and we'll figure out what works for your project. But for the actual tree collision, you probably only want capsule collision, and you're not going to want that. So just scale it. You're not going to want cubed scale, so disable that. And you can just move this down. You can scale this down. You get the idea. And you can rotate it as well, so that it aligns a little better. And you can show the player collision, so that sort of messes it up because you can't see the tree with it. But you can just use this green line to tell what's going on. So that looks fine for now. Yeah, save your changes, so just Control S. Oh wait, so you have to build Nanite. I'm not sure what this is asking. What do you like to apply? Sure. So that's 2 trees. Do all of them, or whatever ones you want, of course. I'll do 2, and I'll just show you. So now, if we go to Foliage, you have to save the foliage actor somewhere, so I recommend making a folder for that. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. These ones, again, these ones are very expensive. So even at 20,000, it's not that bad, but yeah, I don't really like them anyway. So I'm gonna increase the density to maybe 5. And what this does is it just increases the density for that specific actor. So this is the general brush, and this is the actor, if that makes sense. So I'll redo this. So now I'm going to get like a lot less of those compared to the other tree I like. Oh, that's too much. The brushes are very, since density is very rough for just a regular amount of trees. Do even a little more. It's pretty impressively optimized, so you can get a lot in. Maybe not that many is good, but just play around with it. What works for your project as well, obviously, depending on what you're doing. I'll say 0.3. Yeah, like that's quite a lot of trees, of course, and you can So obviously that's a lot more trees than I had at the original. And these can be all sorts of different types of trees. If I go to Nanite, we'll just make sure that's enabled. There's a keybind for this as well. I forget what it is, so I'll just be doing this. So yeah, you can see all these trees have Nanite. Now let's see what performance we get with. We'll probably have to build something. I forget what it's called. No, I guess it's all already done. So you can see this is a lot of trees. You can have a really big forest. And we're getting 70 FPS looking like at the trees. If you look up, obviously you get like 100 whatever. But yeah, so this is a spot with less trees. I think there's more over here. So you can see the trees don't move, but let's say you have a like darker map or you're in first person, your head's bobbing. You like seriously don't notice it that much. And if you want a big forest like this, and if you don't want to do LODs for the trees and use that whole system, it's a lot better just to use this, in my opinion. But you can see what works for you. So yeah, that is how you get much better performance using Nanite and using the tree packs from Quixel. So thank you guys for watching, and if you have any questions, just leave them down below. I'll answer them. And if you guys want this tree pack as well, or if you really want, I can make you another one if you have like no experience in Blender or anything like that and you want the European package or something. And I'll also quickly show you how to change the color and all that. Okay, so you'll see there, I just had to go back, I forgot what it's called. It's called Global Foliage Actor, so just go to, don't do what I just did and search for it, and then just, yeah. So just go here, global, BP _ global foliage actor _ UE5. So just click that. You've this thing, you can either like just put it somewhere under the map, or you could change the mesh of this, I'm sure, or just delete all this. I recommend just leaving it out in the open until you are finished your project, as it actually makes it pretty easy. So here, wind, obviously that's not going to work. Season strength. So let's say it's fall right now when this video was made. I like the yellow color of leaves. So yeah, it's a little laggy in the editor. It's, as you saw, it's like fine in game, but so yeah, so you can just mess with these settings and get the color you like. Let's say that color is pretty nice, and you can mess with all this and play around with it. But so now, if we do this, it's gonna look like fall. And so that's how you do that and improve the performance. And it will look a lot better in your project when you have post-processing and like actual ground and all that. And if it's first person, it works especially well because then you've camera shake and you don't notice that there's no wind on the trees. But if you want a big forest like this and you want to use the Megascan pack, then that's what I've found works best. So thank you guys for watching, and yeah.